Hey guys, welcome to Saturday Spotlight. If today's feature on the bench looks a little familiar to some of you, the good reason for that. This is actually the model that I opted to have on my shop card, which is this right here. And I've still got plenty available if anybody's interested in a shop card. There's my email. Contact me that way and let me know, give me a mailing address, and I'll get one right out to you. So this is a car I chose for my shop card, and it is a Monogram 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air convertible. Now, who doesn't like a good old double nickel Chevy, right? Guys, I built this car mainly because I had seen not only in the modeling community but all around. I was seeing at the time a lot of 55 Chevys, and I'm like, I was thinking I had one of those in my stash, so I got to looking, and sure enough, I did, and it was the convertible version here. I think I've built some 55s in the past, but they've been the hardtops. I never built a convertible. So what I'm going to start out with first is I'll show you the kit this one came from, because this was actually I think released a couple different times. It was a Indy pace car, and I think it was solely on the Revell name. But this here was the Monogram label. I'm going to slide this guy out of the way a minute because it's a pretty big box. It would have been this version right here. And I'm going to be struggling to get all that in. Okay, I'll lay it down like that first. So it's under the Monogram label. 55 Bel Air convertible. 1/25th scale. For a Monogram, that's kind of, most of those were 1/24 scale cars. But this was the kit. Like I said, there was a Revell labeled car, was red and white, was the Indy pace car, I believe. And I've seen that one out on YouTube too. That guys have done that version. But this I believe is from '95. Let's see if we can find the date on the box here as I dig around. It might have been on the instruction sheet. That might be here. Let's see. Yeah, right there you go. Right there, 1995 by Revell Monogram. So it was still technically Revell too, but it just was the Monogram label. And like I said, there was another one that had the Revell label on it. But anyway, pretty cool box art on there. Shows a couple different angles. Again, it's tough to get this honking box in here too. But just a detailed engine, the back there. And I basically, guys, with this one, I just went box art on it. Not necessarily box stock, because I did add some plug wires, which we'll see in just a little bit. But had this, and guys, I actually bought this in '95, and it had been in my stash, and I built this car in 2021. I built this car, so this thing had been up in my stash for all those years. I'm like, well, you know what? It's time to get it out. And very, very good kit. Very high quality kit this is. Had virtually, if I remember correctly, I had virtually no trouble assembling this car. Everything went together so nice, and just builds a super, super nice display piece in the end. So that's the box art from this car. So let me set this out of the road. And we'll bring this guy back in, and we'll bring him in closer to you so you can take a look here close. So we'll bring him in. All right. 55 Chevrolet Bel Air convertible. One of the most popular cars of classic cars, really, of all time. And actually, guys, this was the first old car that I remember being able to identify just by looking at it all those years ago, when I started really getting into cars and liking the classics and stuff, and building model cars. And now I opted to go with the Continental kit on this. Just thought it looked nice. So I got the Continental kit, went with the kit license plate there. It's got little chrome tips there on it. And I'm going to take this boot off because it's going to want to slide around. I opted not to glue the boot or the up top on there, so that way I could change them back and forth if I wanted to. And then, now what I like about this car is this chrome on the side here. it's actually a separate chrome piece, because when you get this kit, if you've not built this kit, I should say, this is all recessed in here where this chrome strip goes. So that's nice that they give you the option. That's all chrome. A lot less work you have to do as far as chroming up things. Now this is bare metal foil. I did bare metal foil up here on this spear up front. But this then I took and I painted white on the inset right there. Just going by stock pictures and things from what I've seen. What I had a white inset in there. And then we'll go ahead and take the hood off here carefully. So there's that 265 V8 engine in there. And then I used a Morgan Automotive detail distributor. The wires tucked way back in there, so really you don't see all the wires, but they all go in. I believe that's the correct firing order as well. I think I did that the same way. But there's your, I believe it's your oil, I believe that was an oil bath filter. I believe that's what that is. And check it out, power steering, 1955. This guy was loaded. Now I didn't opt for the battery cables on this one. I just decided not to do it, but had a lot of fun building this one. Again, bare metal foil on this side. I got the bare metal foil, I believe it is, up on the top. That could be Molotov actually, but I think it's bare metal. I think it's the bare foil right here, all the way around the perimeter here, down there where you can see it, down that way. And something else, if this car looks familiar, this paint scheme looks familiar, it's actually the same as a 56 Ford I'm doing. Now that actually looks just a little bit different in this light, but I could have had more coats on this car actually than this one. But anyway, that's the same. They've been the same paint. There's the skirts for that 56. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same color there. And actually, I wasn't thinking about it. I mean, I knew obviously this car's on my shop card, but when I picked those two colors, I was just basically on the 56 trying to match what I had started originally, and ended up coming up with the same paint scheme. So it's kind of cool. I got two cars in the same paint scheme, and very nice colors. And I did the interior with that olive green acrylic, and the carpet, the sun visors, and then the dark part of the seat. But what I did is I painted that. It would have been the same color as this carpet, but then I just took I think I put a gloss coat, Tester's gloss coat. I just brushed on there and give it just a little bit of a sheen, like it's vinyl material. And then it's got the, take this out. I don't think, see if I can get that out of there. Yeah, what this is, I don't know if this is, how well this is going to show up on the camera. If I can get it out of my fingers here without dropping it. This is the manual. I was going to show, yeah. Stop shaking the camera. This is the manual on how to operate the convertible top. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I just cut that out off the decal sheet and just set it on the seat there. I'm going to put this here. We'll show you the bottom side. So there's the bottom side. Like I said, just builds up, guys, into a very clean build, very clean car. The molds are excellent, clean, crisp lines on it, and yeah, just can't say enough about this kit. It was very enjoyable to build. I really liked building this car. And then again, the back side there. Again, not a whole lot more to tell about this. I don't have a normal story like I've normally got. There's probably many clapping right now, but anyways, you guys know I like my stories, but I really don't have anything much to tell about this one as far as a background, other than, like I said before, this would have been my first classic car that I was actually able to identify as a young kid. And it was one of my favorite old cars for a long time. The old double nickel Chevy. I'm going to put that back on the seat before I lose it. So how I display that, guys, and it just looks like this. I've just got that owner, that top manual just laying on the seat there. So and then again, I detailed up the dash really good. Good detail on the dash there. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else about this. Well, let's look at it with the up top on it. So see, I just opted not to glue either one of those. That way we could change it out. So, and actually, that looks pretty good too with the top up. That looks pretty cool. So there it is with the top up. And then on the underneath side, then I highlighted the bows on the top there in black. And it's kind of funny. The first time I got this done, I took it to a show. We got the show all wrapped up and everything, and I packed my stuff up, went home, and put it back in its display case and put it on the shelf. And I didn't think much of it, and it was getting closer time to for the show for the next year. And I'm looking for this top because I tend to display it in the case like this with the boot on it. And I was looking for that top, and I'm like, man, I misplaced that top somewhere, and I don't know what I did with it. Well, that same show that I was at the year before that I first had this, when I first had this out, I walk in the door and look at the registration table, and there my top sits on there. That thing was there for a whole year, guys. It was a whole year. And they had stuck it back, and they said, well, we'll just save it for next year. If anybody wants to claim it, they'll claim it. And there was my top. So I went with a year without the top, but said didn't even notice it because it stayed in the shelf and didn't pay attention. But anyway, for whatever that is. But guys, that's the 55 Chevy that I chose to put on my shop card, along with the Coca-Cola machine back there, which came from the 72 Cheyenne kit, the Coca-Cola version truck. So that was pretty cool to have that. And then that background on my shop card, it's kind of hard to see it, but if you look at the card, if you have one, that's simulated white brick. And I just used some crafting paper for that, and then a sheet of dark crafting paper for the bottom, for the floor there. So, but anyway, that's the one I chose to use. I just thought that looked nice on there. And you know, when you see a 55 Chevy, you recognize it right away, and it's hard to forget them. So, but guys, hey, as short as this one was, like I said, I don't really have a whole lot other to tell. Oh, I do have one more thing to tell. Just remembered. Actually, this car at the show this year in August that we had, Fine Scale Modeler was there. Might be tied, and I'm not sure, guys, if that's tied to Scale Auto anymore or not. I know Scale Auto doesn't have their newsstand publication anymore, but anyway, Fine Scale Modeler, this actually, and it's only online right now, but this actually will make the contest annual for next year around September, October. So it actually made it in there, and I'm going to tack a picture of that on the end of this video from the picture from the magazine. So I was pretty glad about that, because I always thought one goal would be nice that I thought when I was younger. That's one of my dreams of being a model builder was one day to have it in a one of the model magazines. So that goal was accomplished, and I was honored that they picked my car as one of them to take a picture of and put in the magazine. So like I said, I'll tag that on the end of this, guys, and then we'll look for that publication next year when it comes out. But anyways, guys, I think that's all I've got for this one. Short and sweet as it is. Just wanted to share this classic with you, kind of how I come to build it. Seen a lot of 55 Chevys, and like, well, I gotta build one of my own, and that was a perfect kit to build because it's so well engineered, and just a real pleasurable kit to build. All right, guys. Like I said, as short and sweet as that was, that's all I got for this one. So with that, I'm going to say thank you, subscribers, and appreciate it if you like the video. Give me a like, thumbs up, all the good stuff. Like, share, subscribe. So for now, this is Eric from Eric's Model Garage. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless you. and happy modeling.